Got interested in air source heat pumps, having read about them in the press and seeing them really coming back. I'd actually first investigated them about 10 years ago, but came back to it with the rising cost of energy, starting to understand, is that something that's going to be beneficial to us with our property, and something to use instead of gas, particularly as our gas boiler was coming up to sort of 10 years old, and thinking about how much longer is that going to go on. If we're going to replace that, what should we replace it with? And air source heat pumps was the thing that sort of came to the top of that list. Certainly when doing research into air source heat pumps, there's lots of information out there on the internet, but unfortunately a lot of it is individuals that started out doing plumbing work, doing boilers, and were starting to diversify, but maybe not really knowing what they were doing. So when I saw that Infinity were doing heat pumps, they were sort of my first port of call, having used them previously for some other work. And so starting the conversation with them to understand their capabilities is really then what took us further into the relationship, and ultimately selecting Infinity to do the work. The whole proposal process for the heat pump was actually quite a daunting thought to start with, given that it was going to change all of our heating system, and feeling that that was such a significant change for us as a family to do that. Going into the discussions with Infinity and talking about how the system would operate, me coming up with lots of questions about a number of different things, from the noise it would create to changes that would be needed, were all addressed. And that really settled both myself and the rest of the family that this was something that was going to be practical to do for our home, and would ultimately be the right thing to do for it. The thing that surprised me the most so far about the install and how it's gone is how tidy it all is. It is a different set of equipment for heating the house than what we had before with the boiler, but already seeing the way the heat pump unit has gone into the garden, it looks in keeping. Seeing the way that the pipework has been laid underground, or the ducting up the wall, it's extremely tidy. You would barely know it's there. And so I think it integrates really nicely into the property. At the moment, it's great to see my solar being captured, charging up my Tesla Powerwalls, because I can use that energy now whenever I want to run the air source heat pump at any time of day, and ultimately optimise for the lowest cost. Combination of solar, home batteries and heat pumps to me makes so much sense. It's great just having that portability and accessibility from the phone, just to check in what's going on, seeing what we're generating at the moment. I can see what's being consumed by the house, and also what's going into the batteries, and know that there's going to be enough energy in there that any time through the night we can be heating the water, or we can be heating the house in the winter time. Being able to use the apps just gives the visibility of what's going on there, and it just makes it so easy. It's been just over a month now since we've had the installation done, and it's been great to see already the benefits of using the heat pump versus gas to heat our water. It's taking literally like 15 minutes to heat the water up for the whole household, and doing so at a much better level of efficiency. But moving to flexible energy tariffs, which we've done, which gives you access to lower cost electricity at different times of day during off-peak times, those are the times to heat your water or to heat the house using the heat pump. And therefore it really opens up benefits by moving to a tariff which has that flexibility, which thankfully now is available from many more suppliers than in the past. The team of engineers that came out to do the installation were very sensitive of our home environment and where they were working, and working around us as a family. And the install that they have done looks like it's been here for ages now. It's blended into the property, it's blended into the garden, and it looks fantastic.